Hello, my presentation is about implementing ethics for a mobile app deployment. In the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about the details of how to implement ethics for a mobile app development, as well as ethics in app store deployments. I'm going to talk about how different platforms deal with the ethics and privacy issues in app deployment, and we're also going to explore the different types of ethics implementations and guidelines for supporting users' autonomy. At the end of the presentation, I will talk about minimizing exposure to risk when using these apps and the concepts of good, clean, and fair ICT. Um, it's known that some applications actually collect information about the users without them knowing that they're actually sharing their information with some other parties. Some applications collect user information and saves it in a database for different reasons. Some of them they use it to enhance the application in the future. Some of them they use it to show the user advertisement that is relevant to what they're looking for. Some applications they save the user information and sell it to companies who can use it for different reasons. It's important to point out that research, by the way, of an app store deployment needs to be conducted ethically. Any research that collects user information, whether for a good cause or a profitable cause, it has to be conducted ethically. However, as there is often not a direct relationship or contact between the researchers and the subject, this is not always a straightforward process. In particular, it is difficult to ensure that all users understand that they are part in a research study and their autonomy in deciding to take part and freely withdraw is supported. According to guidelines created by Macmillan in 2013 for App Store deployments, consent can be and should be gained through in-app mechanisms, meaning the application itself has to tell the user what kind of information is it collecting about them and what it's going to be used at. However, Macmillan also explained the inevitable uncertainties over whether users have read and understood the study information and are in a position to give consent need to be counterbalanced with respect and care for their privacy. Um, it's very well known by several researchers, and we're going to also provide some statistics here in this presentation that most users does not actually read the privacy and the agreement documents in applications before using them. Most users they just skip, click next, 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 and just start using the app because they're more interested in using the app. Other researchers argue that too much emphasis is placed on getting written informed consent. They argue that seeking formal consent can damage the trust relationship between the researcher and the subject. They point out that the risks are often very low in human-computer interaction field, and lightweight consent procedures can be sufficient. Williamson and Sundin in 2015 and 16, they go even further by making a case for covert research in studying deployments. They argue that seeking informed consent can sometimes be inappropriate or even impossible with public deployments, and that the absence of consent can be countered with very strong respect for users' privacy. There is several app deployment platforms such as Google Play for Android operating systems and Apple Store for iOS devices. These are the two most popular platforms. These platform providers such as Apple and Google, they support and encourage developers in ways that are relevant to research ethics. Privacy is a particular area that platform providers, especially Apple, has been innovating. For example, it is no longer possible for iOS applications to collect a static device identifier. Instead, the developers can access an ID that is unique to each application and which will be granted uh, differently if the app is deleted or reinstalled. So they cannot connect a specific user with a specific device at any time. There are two main types of ethics guidelines in application development. The first type is the static ethical template. The static ethical templates are pre-designed templates, ethical templates that should go with any kind of application development process, and has specific set of rules and policies that should apply on all applications. The second type is the in-action ethics. Mantinho, in 2015, he called for attention to situational ethics. Other researchers, they argue that there should be more flexibility in making ethical decisions as work progresses. There should be an ongoing dialogue between teams and ethic committees, and better opportunities to share knowledge and lessons learned with others in order to enhance the ethical guidelines on developing uh, a specific app. And the in-action ethics type is app specific, has certain rules and policies that applies on a specific app and solely designed to be used on that specific app. Of course, risk has to be minimized when using mobile applications, and researchers in University of Glasgow in UK, they identified three main areas of risks associated with mobile applications. The first area is the direct risk. For example, if you're using a walking app, uh, like a fitness app, the one that can count your steps and that kind of stuff, walking itself is a low risk form of physical activity, and therefore the health risks associated with using a pedometer are low. Minor risks are that the app will miscount steps, set inappropriate goals, or make people feel negatively about their health and or fitness goals. Some other applications like GPS applications, yes, these applications can pose a real threat to your life. If, for example, the map is incorrect and it shows you wrong directions, it might risk your life. The second area of risk is privacy risks. The primary risks associated with privacy risks are to do with the collection and management of data. Uh, they argue that the researchers has an ethical duty to keep abreast of the current industry standards for privacy and security, and to instigate suitable procedures with regards to their handling of the data. Privacy and security is one area that platform providers such as Apple itself promotes. The data traffic between your mobile phone and the servers is now encrypted on device by default, and users are encouraged to set a lock on their devices. Another potential vulnerability is in the transmission of the data on the network is being tightened up by Apple. Apple made HTTPS encryption a default deployment setting in 2015, meaning any traffic going in and out your mobile through the network is encrypted using secure HTTP. Risks that are associated with the direct risk area should be um, a big concern when developing mobile applications, and developers has to set uh, uh, rules and application features to make sure that users are using these applications in the right way. And for example, one of the GPS applications that everybody uses is called Waze, W-A-Z-E. They prevent you from setting a direction and starting navigation while driving. So if you use the app and try to start the navigation while driving, the app knows that you're moving because it monitors your location, and it'll tell you that, hey, you cannot operate the application now. You have to stop the car before you can operate the application, or maybe give the application to a passenger and have them start the navigation. That feature will reduce the number of accidents and threats to your life, because using a mobile application while driving is a big issue and has been identified as one of the main causes for traffic accidents. Supporting users' autonomy is a very important area. It is very important to respect and support people's ability to make free and informed choices about whether and how they wish to participate in the research that is done by the application. Informed consent has come to be seen as a gold standard for this. Ordinarily, written consent is gained once a participant has read an information sheet and had the opportunity to discuss the research. You have to make sure when designing the app that the users actually consent to what kind of research you're going to be doing on their activities while they're using the app. In order to develop and enhance the ethics in mobile app development, a researcher from University of Glasgow in UK, his name is John Rooksby, he developed a mobile application, and he made that application available in the App Store last year. This application is called Cupid. It's a fitness app. It basically has 3 features. The app enables users to track their daily activities and step count, and it also supplies weekly goals for the users. The app also enables the users to compare their data with other users who are using the app. To study how people use this app and whether it influences their behavior, the researcher collects data from the application concerning when the people open the app, what sections of the app, what sections of the app they look at, what data they see, and the data about user goals and daily steps. The data is uploaded to a server and shared with the research team. As we mentioned before, this application collects information about the user, which is more than what the application actually appears to be as. The application is a walking app, but in the background it collects more information about the user behavior. After the user installs the app, the developer has designed the first page in the app to be the license agreement. The user has to read the license agreement and consent on being part of the research study that is being conducted through using the app. If the user declines the license agreement, they will be provided an option to still use the app for the fitness activities, but not share their information with the developers. If the user consent to be part of the research, and then later down the road they decided they want to use the app, but they don't want to be a part of the research, the developer also provided a feature for the user to withdraw from the study but continue using the app. And of course, if the user does not want to use the app or be part of the research, they can simply delete the application from their device. One interesting statistical result from this research is information about how long the participants spend on the license agreement page. For example, the figure here in this slide, it shows that the time spent on the participant information screens on the first 66 consenting users that agreed to use the app and take part of the study. 17% of them read to the bottom of the initial screen, and 55% of users returned to the participant information screen, the license agreement, via the setting screen from the app. For those who scrolled to the bottom of the information screen, the median time was 60 seconds, 65 seconds, is about a minute. And for those who did not, it was 3.7 seconds. So they looked at the license agreement, they did not scroll down, they just accepted it without even reading it. The median time spent on the information via settings was 20 seconds. These figures are somewhat more indicative that people are reading the information than those reported by a researcher called Morrison in 2014, who report from a study with a far larger sample that only 2% of users expanded the relevant text to read it. Making the information available does appear very valuable to users, but we cannot assume everyone is reading it. Let understanding what is there. You have to make sure that while developing the app, that the users not just provide them with a license agreement, make sure that they actually know what this app is doing and what kind of activities that happens in the background and what kind of information it collects about them. Another gold standard concept I want to talk about is the concept of good, clean, and fair ICT. ICT is short for information communication and technology. This concept was introduced by a researcher called Bitrini in 2007, and it was later enhanced in 2011. Good ICT is the ICT that is developed by placing the humans in the center stage. Good ICT means the technology has to be good. It shouldn't be bad technology. The other concept is the clean ICT. Clean ICT, it takes into consideration the whole life cycles of the materials, energy, and products used to create and manufacture the ICT, which basically gives very important care for the environment surrounding the creation and maintenance of ICT. The concept is fair ICT is based on equitable use of the ICT. It bears certain similarities to the fair use of initiative in the field of food consumption and fair trade more widely. With putting the concept of good, clean, and fair ICT in mind while developing mobile applications, I think developers can come up with good solutions. As a summary for this presentation, we have to make sure that any kind of research that is done using mobile applications needs to be conducted ethically. We also investigated the support of users' autonomy and how we have to make sure that they consent for participating in application research and provide them with ability to withdraw in case they change their mind down the road. We also talked about different areas of risks associated with using the application, such as the direct risks and the privacy risks and the encryption, the data encryption on the mobile phone. In the next slide, you're gonna find my references, and thank you.